Remember the first time I went to your basement, you walked me out. You're like, hey, man, I hope those guys didn't offend you. And I was like, listen, you made my day because I thought all those type of people were dead.
I know that's what you said.
If it was up to the United States, all of us would be dead. Anybody who speaks that way would be dead. This is the direction we're going. I mean, I don't know if a lot of comics, I don't know if you saw this, and it doesn't, when you hear it, it doesn't bother you or affect you. But if you're a fucking rough comic, it should. Fucking, they asked Andrew Schultz not to do a theater because they said he was dirty. If they think Andrew Schultz is dirty, they're going to put me under the fucking jail. I mean, Jim, this is something to think about that I've been thinking about since I saw that. I go, Massey Theater canceled him. This is going to be a trend pretty soon.
So he did after?
They don't want us to talk like we do. You know, every time Rogan says something, a doctor, invertment, it's a front page of Yahoo, and it's like they say that you did something. You know, I spoke about on the podcast the other day that I haven't read anything else about it, they were going after Jeff Garlin for like, if Jeff Garlin is offensive, I better fucking hang myself right now.
I know, right?
So what these people are going for now is just that, and I tell you, everybody's like sitting tight, listen, wait for the holidays to pass. After the holidays, it's going to be a motherfucker, the shit that they're going to drop on us. Look what de Blasio dropped on us yesterday. And that's for New York. That's it. You might as well fucking stab that in the heart. Now I can't even bring 5 and 11-year-olds to a fucking thing in New York City. Yeah, everybody's got to be vaccinated. All private companies. And I'm sure the guy that replaces him, Eric, whatever his fucking name is, will change that mandate when he takes office. But you think about that. That's not good, guys. That's going to stick the fucking fork in New York right there.
No, I know. A lot of people from Jersey bring their kids in. You know, they go to dinner, they go to a show or something like that. I can't even bring my kid in to come to the comedy club because he won't be allowed in. He's 11 years old, you know, starting in like another week or so. It's insane what you're doing to these businesses and stuff, you know. So, yeah, just, you know, Joe says something. Joe has a doctor on that doesn't agree with CNN, and the next day it's all news. They just take these little quotes and go crazy over it. You know, it really is insane. I know they're trying to control it and they can. And then you got Trump, who's going to start his own like Twitter. It's going to start up in like a month or two, where you can go on there and say whatever you want, basically. And they're already freaking out over it. They're trying to see how they could shut it down.
I got to be honest with you, I kind of miss Trump. I kind of miss him, even though I didn't vote for him, even though I'm not a political guy. This shit that's going on now, like, I'm not a political guy. I just look at Biden, and I know that's a mistake. And Pamela Harris, she's fucking garbage. She's hot garbage. All she could do is flip her fucking hair up. She's hot fucking garbage. And now, I tell you, when Trump fucking raised his hand and threw Alec Baldwin under the bus, that was the happiest day of my life, because I fucking hated Baldwin doing Trump. That shit wasn't funny at fucking all. It wasn't funny at all. And those poor bastards kept bringing it to the table like it was going to kill America. The only people who liked that impersonation were people who didn't like Trump. I'm a fan of impersonations, but a bad impersonation is a bad impersonation. I fucking loved it when Trump raised his hand and said, lock him up. He's got mental health issues. To me, that was fucking the best day of my life for fucking Trump.
Meanwhile, all those guys were all friends with Trump, you know, that De Niro and all these guys, Alec Baldwin, they're all New Yorkers. They all hung out with him, Jay-Z. You know, Trump was the man until he ran, and then all of a sudden they turned on him. And now Alec Baldwin's just embarrassing with him and his wife on Instagram, going, I love you, honey, no matter what. You support me. You got my back. I don't care what happens to my career. I just know I have you. You're a fucking 65-year-old man groveling on Instagram to your wife. How about you say that to her fucking face? Nobody needs to hear that. You're 65 years old. I see how you talk to your wife, Terry. You say, hey, if I wasn't Terry, I wouldn't be around. You don't put that on fucking Instagram. I just want to let you know, Terry. You tell her right to her. But this is a fucking 65-year-old. That's all I need. Now today they're kissing in a picture. Alec Baldwin and his wife. Like, what are you trying to do?
Hollywood has become so fucking pukey.
9 days after that woman died, after he shot her on set, they're posting a picture of them as a family in Halloween costumes. Alec Baldwin, his wife, and his kids all in Halloween costumes. Like, what are you doing?
The fucking mental health that Hollywood does to you. When I didn't even watch the whole fucking thing with Stephanopoulos, whatever his fucking name is. All I had to do was watch 3 minutes of it, and then I watched segments of him going, I didn't pull the trigger. He's fucking crying on TV. I didn't even watch. I didn't pay attention to it. I woke up the next day and Pierce Morgan is goofing on him. Everybody's fucking goofing on him that he's a fake. And I'm like, you know what, guys? Why does this shock you? They're fucking actors. All of them. All of them are actors. They know how to try to win you over with bullshit. For Alec Baldwin, that bullshit didn't fucking work the other day. People saw through that. You know, Hollywood is just a puke fucking place now. You look at it and you're like, what the fuck happened? Harvey Weinstein, this, that. And then you got fucking Alec Baldwin saying shit about George Clooney and what the fuck does George Clooney know about a fucking gun? I don't know. I just don't know anymore. You see him coming a fucking mile away, and it's just not for me no more.
No, you always say that. I'm so happy to be out of that lifestyle. You know, when there's shit going on in LA and Hollywood and all that stuff, you're like, I'm just so happy I'm not involved in that anymore. I don't even care.
Come on, man. What they did to comics during the pandemic, and now people won't give those comics specials, even though they got vindicated, even though the comics are fucking decent people, and that was a time ago. You know, I told you the other day, I go, you know, Jim, I'm fucking embarrassed to say this on any podcast because I've been lying to people, obviously, because I told them it's not like that. You know, America does not want to give you a second chance anymore. There's no more second chances. There used to be second chances in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, you know, a couple of them in the 80s, Michael Vick in the 90s. But I got to be honest with you. Look at a guy like me now. And I knew this when I became a comedian. It was the reason I became a comic, Jimmy, that I'm not going to be able to ever get a job. I got to pee in a bottle. And I got a fucking police record. Hey, I brought it upon myself. I'm not sitting here whining or whatever. But what happens to the guy that does go to jail for 15 years? He made a mistake. He comes out and he wants to go looking for a job. Nobody's going to hire this guy.
You're right. Absolutely. I know. They don't give you a second chance.
No.
Someone was just bitching Mel Gibson's going to direct Lethal Weapon 5, I guess, and some big director or a producer in Hollywood just wrote a whole piece for like, I don't know, maybe it was the New York Times or something, about how could you hire this guy? He hates Jews, and this is ridiculous that you're going to hire him to direct that movie. The Mel Gibson paid his price. He went away for like fucking 5 years in the middle of his career when that shit went down, you know, back a cop car and all that stuff. So it's like the guy paid, so he can't come back. You know, that was 20 years ago. You're still going to hold that against him. He was drunk and he said some shit in the back of a cop car.
And I'm going to tell you something. That's like somebody calling me a bigot. And it fucking infuriates me when people don't see it for what it is. Let me tell you something about Mel Gibson. And this is, again, the first time I've said this on a podcast. I got the pleasure to work with a guy named Dean something twice. I worked with him on the boxing movie with De Niro, and I worked with him on The Longest Yard. His name is Dean something. And it's not hard to find. He's like the third name on the credits. He's a big shot. The guy's a big, old Australian guy. You know the type, Jimmy. He likes to have a good time, drink a couple beers and shit. Well, let me tell you what that dude had the honor of doing. He won the Oscar for Dances with Wolves for being the cinematographer. But why I fell in love with him is because he's the real cinematographer for fucking Mad Max and the first Road Warrior. The Road Warrior. This guy, Dean Strickland, or whatever his name is. What is it?
Simler.
What is it?
Semler. Simler.
Yeah.
Simler.
Dean Simler. This motherfucker every day would talk to Mel Gibson on the phone. Every day. When we were shooting The Longest Yard, at some part of the day, him and Mel, There's people that we all talk to, one person, two people, your brother Dan, whatever. And you say things. You say Cuban jokes. You say Puerto Rican jokes. You say Jew jokes. You say Polak jokes, whatever. I know for a fact every day Dean would come up to me on the phone and he'd go, hey, you want to hear this joke? And it would be what you'd call today a tasteless joke, but it would be a funny joke to me, like, Jesus came out of Central Park and there were two Catholics and a fucking rabbi, and the two Catholics were like, look at Jesus. He'll throw a blessing on us. Jesus, come here, throw a blessing on me. My wife has cancer. My mother has cancer. Jesus, like, yeah, here's a blessing on you. Jesus, I'm a bishop. My foot hurts. Here's a blessing. And the Jews like, Jesus, don't touch me. I'm on disability. Like those type of jokes, right? They don't hurt nobody. They're simple, stupid street jokes. If you judge somebody on one of those street jokes, you have a fucking problem. That's what him and used to do every day. Mel Gibson, to tell stupid fucking jokes. And I know that for a fact that the chick from Hannibal stuck up for him, Dan, whatever her name is, Jodie Foster, stuck up for him, and she's as Jewish as can be.
Yeah.
So they're getting the whole fucking thing wrong. But back to your point, yeah, you can't. They don't want you to have a second chance anymore. They do not want it at all. I saw the petitions from Mike Vick after he came back and proved himself and went to therapy. And I was a little upset with Michael Vick too. Those are fucking dogs. But I learned how to give somebody a second chance because society gave me a second chance. But that's not happening anymore.
And he's also been an upstanding citizen since he's gone out. Michael Vick, he hasn't gotten in any trouble, nothing. You always think that maybe he's going to do something again, but he hasn't. When he's on he's doing like NFL Today or something like that. I saw him on as like a guest analyst or something, or a pregame thing. So, thank God. Believe me, if that happened today with the thing he did with the dogs, you would never hear from him again. He'd have to go in hiding and never come back. There's no way a team would sign him after that.
No. Look I saw something last night. The kid who played Superfly, the little young brother, has over 30 sexual assaults. Fucking Superfly went freaky, huh? 30 sexual assaults since he shot fucking Superfly. You excited about this special, brother?
I'm excited. Yeah,
I can tell. You've been putting some hard work into it. I know it's going to be fucking great. What's the name of it?
It's called Bite the Bullet. It's on YouTube, my YouTube page, youtube.com/Jim Florentine Comedy. Comes out Monday, December 13th. It'll be available.
Fucking
just go to Jim Florentine Comedy on YouTube, and it's there.
And you got the terrorizing telemarketers. I saw something yesterday. I listened to one of the clips last week. It was fucking hysterical. It was.
Oh yeah, you heard a new one.
Oh my God, I was fucking dying the other day at the house. I love all that torturing people shit. That's right up my fucking alley. And then you're at the St. Louis Funny Bone this weekend, correct?
This weekend, yeah.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday, Thursday through Sunday, actually, December 9th through the 12th.
Holy shit, that's a long fucking week. Miami's got to bye.
Sometimes there's a few clubs around the country I'll do 4 days. The Funny Bone in St. Louis, I love that place. I've been doing it for years. Matt, the manager, is amazing. Side Splitters in Tampa. BT, it's one of the best clubs in the country. The guy in the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls, Pete. There's a few that I will do because I like these guys that much.
Well, man, I'll be looking forward for Monday. I'll see you. No, I won't even see you Sunday for football. Holy shit.
Yeah, Miami has a bye this week. But
I'm on my own this fucking weekend. You'll be in St. Louis. Your brother's in fucking Aruba. I'm all alone here in fucking freezing New Jersey. But, hey, man, thank you for taking the time. I know you got a big day today. You got to move around. You got an Ozzy Osbourne, Ozzy's Boneyard probably coming up this week. So thank you for taking the time, Jim.
I appreciate that, Joey. Thanks.
All right. Have a great day, and I'll bump into you later, hopefully.